drug addict finds new meaning in life after participating in Tzu Chi's work for relief recycling program. We find out the long-term effects muscle relief patches may have on the human body. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shoda. Thank you for joining us. It has been 4 years after the 2013 Lushan earthquake in Sichuan, China. Much of the devastation associated with the disaster has been restored with the help of Tzu Chi. Tzu Chi helped build Hanbei Tzu Chi Elementary School in Ya'an City, where the buildings were based on the Han Dynasty style, as well as incorporating Tzu Chi's signature look.
The establishment of the Hanbei Tzu Chi Elementary School was completed this year. Tzu Chi helped build the school after the Lushan earthquake 4 years ago. This school aims to cultivate students with specialties in science, painting, and sports.
I feel very happy and satisfied to serve at this school. I have a great responsibility to manage this school and this community.
This school was built based on Tzu Chi's humanitarianism, which also incorporates the Hanque element. Hanque is a kind of decorative building from the Han Dynasty that is usually built in front of the palace, temple, and mausoleum, which represents dignity. This plays on history and culture, as well as memories for many residents.
Our school is built with classic Han style. I like its architecture.
Before I started to serve at the school last year, I had visited the school. I think the architecture of the school is very simple but magnificent. Besides, the environment of this campus is very beautiful. Before I came here, I had already deeply loved this school.
Residents who live near this school are also concerned about everything about this school.
My grandson is 4 years old now. After 2 years, he will study the first grade at this school. If he studies here, it will be more convenient for us to look after him.
Teachers at this school also regularly attend Tzu Chi seminars for teachers to learn the spirits of volunteers and humanistic education. When walking onto this campus, one not only witnesses the beauty of the architecture, but also sees each teacher's humanistic spirit.
Tzu Chi's spirit has spread around the world. In Quezon City of the Philippines, the Tzu Chi Recycling Education Center has provided work for relief job opportunities for residents in need. Among the workers there, Willie Fernandez was a former photographer and drug addict. After working at the Tzu Chi Recycling Education Center, Fernandez has gotten rid of his bad habits and dedicated himself to protecting the environment.
Willie Fernandez was once a reputable photographer. To capture pictures of drug users, he was drawn into the drug world.
My coworker encouraged me to try doing what I was trying to capture. So I tried selling and using drugs and making friends with drug dealers. In the end, I could only cry. I told my father I want to quit abusing drugs.
Tzu Chi's work for relief program gave him his first job after he left the drug rehab center. His mother once worried that he might turn down such a work opportunity.
I invited him to take part in Tzu Chi's work for relief program. If he doesn't like it, he can leave.
Willie's job is to organize recyclables at the second-hand supply station. The work involves giving new life to discarded items. This is also how he feels about himself.
Tzu Chi prohibits the use of alcohol, drugs, or cigarettes. I've come to understand the chemical materials in these substances usually stay in our bodies and make us addicted to them. However, a good environment can help us quit the habit.
His friends here do not have bad habits, and they are good. I think this is the best place for my
Willie's mother, who works at a recycling station, also volunteers with Willie. Although their incomes might not be more than their earnings in the past, they're now living a meaningful and valuable life.
Also living a meaningful and valuable life through recycling efforts. In our next report, we meet S. Lechumi, who was a patient from the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Butterworth, Malaysia. After witnessing some volunteers practicing recycling, she realized she could do the same to help the less fortunate.
Before, they all said that the rubbish they gave me is simply trash, but now they say the trash is money, so what they give me is money.
I give you money.
This woman who promotes recycling in her community is a dialysis patient. Since 2014, she started to undergo dialysis at the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Butterworth. With the encouragement of the medical staff and volunteers, she joined Tzu Chi to do recycling.
In the past, she wasn't our volunteer, but later she participated in the volunteer training session. After undergoing dialysis therapy, she may pitch in to help those who are really in need.
At that time, I brought my own food to receive dialysis treatment. I used a plastic bag and papers to wrap the food. After eating it, I threw the papers and plastic bag into the trash can.
And then the uncle go and see the Sampada.
After Tzu Chi brother saw this, he picked up the plastic bag and said that he could recycle it. It was when I realized I did something wrong.
I know, I'm just mistake.
Not until the explanation of the volunteers did Lechumi understand that half of the funding of this dialysis center comes from the money earned by selling recyclables. She then resolutely decided to do recycling and has also invited her neighbors to join her.
My daughters brought recyclables back. For each time, we gave these recyclables to those who collected recyclables. She said she also did recycling, so we gave the recyclables to her so that she could give them to the dialysis center. She said we can also do good deeds by giving her recyclables.
She used these papers when buying vegetables. She rolled them up and gave them to me. See, they no longer throw away these papers.
Lechumi does recycling with determination and repays society with gratitude.
Now I want to be a volunteer. I want to do recycling for Tzu Chi.
For the Tzu Chi.
Staying in Malaysia, Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter recently held new volunteer training courses. Among the lessons, a section was saved for English-speaking volunteers. Other parts of the training included how to conduct home visitations. Malaysia's Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter recently held new volunteer training. Among them, 86 people were English-speaking volunteers. Through videos and personal stories, the participants learned more about Tzu Chi.
When I first know about Tzu Chi, the first thing is that I feel like inspired by what Mr. Cheng Yang has done. I just come to Tzu Chi because I want to know what is it that they are doing and how can they help and what have they done to other people.
In March, the International Tema Conference was quite inspiring for some volunteers, and those who participated look forward to extending that emotion towards home visits.
I think it's a good activity and I've learned a lot from it, such as coming into contact with patients. Joining Tzu Chi activities, I want to use my job as a medical professional to help them.
Visiting a Burmese refugee home, the volunteers can empathize with their current situation.
The refugees live a harsh life and some of them have illnesses. They don't actually want to live this way. The master has said before, poverty and sickness go hand in hand.
Medical professionals acting as volunteers to serve the public help them gain more wisdom for the days ahead. Switching our focus to Taiwan, but staying on volunteer training, Tzu Chi Camp for Overseas Recycling Volunteers was recently held at the Taichung Jingsi Hall. Wanting these overseas volunteers to feel right at home, local volunteers treated them like family.
The couple who were recycling volunteers from Xiamen are moved to tears when talking about their Tzu Chi experience.
而且除了急，而且还不好。
She used to be hot-tempered and temperamental. However, after she started recycling, she has realized if she can cherish garbage, she should cherish her husband.
那么爱惜的老公更要珍惜。
The couple run a printing factory in Xiamen, Fujian. They often quarrel despite a successful business. However, after they started recycling, they have found a purpose in life.
Recycling also purifies us spiritually.
The Tzu Chi camp for overseas recycling volunteers is held at Taichung Jingsi Hall, attended by more than 300 recycling volunteers from 10 different countries. To help the camp attendees feel at home, local Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to set up the venue and clean the dorm rooms. To welcome these overseas recycling volunteers, the volunteers mindfully set up the venue using a lot of recycled materials. Since the camp attendees need a comfortable place to rest, the local volunteers mindfully clean the dorm rooms. After cleaning, the dorm rooms are tidy and neat, so the overseas camp attendees can feel at home. 26 leading recycling volunteers also visit recycling stations in Nantou. At Nanpu Recycling Station in Caotun, the volunteers demonstrate ways to take apart a spring bed. Seeing the volunteers recycle materials so efficiently, the overseas volunteers capture the moment with their smartphones.
They are doing recycling with passion and dedication, so I want to learn from them and bring back the experience.
The overseas camp attendees also praised the local recycling volunteers for their efforts. They will bring the experience back to their countries as they continue their missions to protect the environment.
Children participating in Tzu Chi's Youth Basketball League come from all different family backgrounds, but the one thing they all have in common is that they are all happy youths. Being a part of this league also allows them the chance to aid their moral development as well as discover new aspects about themselves.
Spending an hour each week to play basketball in Tzu Chi's Youth League is something that Hong Ziyu can't miss each week. Passing the ball, getting into position, then doing a layup are all basic moves in basketball. However, it's not easy for Hong Ziyu.
Zheyu was born with a tumor in the left side of his brain, which led to surgery. This affects movements on the right side of his body and also his eyes. His right eye can't focus either.
Poor hand-eye coordination means that Ziyu's passion for basketball is more difficult than others. He has suffered numerous setbacks, but his situation has improved after playing for Tzu Chi's Youth Basketball League.
I was laughed at since young because my limbs were not so coordinated and I played so badly. But after joining the Tzu Chi's Youth Basketball League, my self-confidence grew. Coaches kept repeating their instruction to me, and I was able to eventually absorb it.
Overcoming physical disabilities and the labels of others allows this young man to discover his self-confidence and self-worth.
Actually, as long as he's happy and comes here, he will be able to play pretty well.
He might not have been able to do this his whole life, maybe just moving tables or sweeping or even dancing. But now he's able to do all these because he came here.
On the basketball court, another boy, Shu Dewei, and his sister have also found self-confidence.
I feel like I'm just practicing basketball, as I am not as good as those who are really talented. I feel that I am quite weak, but our coach said I was great and gave me encouragement to make more progress.
Previously, when he would take a shot, maybe deciding on 5 basketballs, and if they all miss, he would give up. He would blame it on having no talent for basketball, and he would go and sit by himself. But now he says, I'll make a basket for you.
Full of fighting spirit is Shu Dewei, who believes he's as good as anyone else when it comes to basketball, as he has the courage to challenge others.
Some moves are very tiring, but I will stick with it. Now if I put up 10 3-pointers, at least one will go in.
He now says to me that he's bored and wants to go and play basketball.
Getting out of the house and moving with more confidence are the skills that basketball has taught many of these young people. No matter what reason they have for joining, every player here is given the chance to grow and develop on their own terms.
According to the National Health Insurance Administration, pharmacies in Taiwan sold 440 million muscle relief patches annually. Many of these patches include acetaminophen or salicylic acid or even anti-inflammatory compounds. Long-term use of these medicines can hurt the kidneys. Many Chinese medicine practitioners and physiotherapists believe that good posture can simply alleviate these sore muscles.
According to data, on average, Taiwan citizens use some 6 different medical patches each month.
Muscle soreness may be due to contractions for too long. For example, having the same posture for too long or holding muscles too hard can cause muscles to become tight. These are common sources of pain.
According to data from the National Health Insurance Agency, Taiwanese pharmacies sell about 440 million medical patches annually. This doesn't include gifts brought back from foreign drugstores. In fact, the neck and shoulder pain is because the muscles are too tight. These patches can only relieve pain, but actually don't relax muscle, as they can't really solve the problem of soreness.
Now, a lot of non-steroid anti-inflammatory painkillers are put into these patches, which are placed on the skin and absorbed by the body. Long-term use will have a certain degree of impact on our kidneys.
If the shoulder and neck area experience pain, we recommend lifting arms up, but keeping the elbows out and lifting them as high as possible. This action can help relax the muscles of the shoulders and make the muscles of the arms stronger.
Besides doing these stretching exercises for muscles, Chinese medicine practitioners also suggest stimulating acupressure points. Before doing massage, one should heat the area to speed up blood circulation, which can help relieve soreness.
Our treatment can include using our fingers to apply pressure on acupressure points and then rubbing or plucking like motion on the vertical muscle to achieve this effect of muscle massage.
To help alleviate sore muscles, the most effective method is simply maintaining correct posture. One should also be reminded to avoid being in the same position for more than 30 minutes to keep muscle pain at bay.
Caring for the health of foreign workers led TIMA's Northern Chapter to hold a free medical clinic at Taipei Main Station once every 2 months. And recently, to celebrate the Philippines' Independence Day, an event was held with Tzu Chi staffing a health checkup station.
In Taiwan, the Philippines' Independence Day was celebrated with a road race. Tzu Chi volunteers were on the scene to attend to participants with medical stations, which helped look after the health of all participants. In New Taipei City, there are about 10,000 Filipino foreign workers who have had to leave their homelands in search of work.
Taiwan is already a second home for us. We were very surprised because the Taiwanese people, very warm, very hospitable, and very friendly.
From Western medicine to Chinese medicine, physicians carried out careful examinations to identify any medical problem facing these foreign workers.
Often they're too busy working, and they don't have any concept of oral hygiene, so they don't brush their teeth or gums or may be afraid of seeing a dentist.
Also at the Taipei main station, a free medical clinic is held every 2 months. Foreign workers are given the chance to have a health checkup. One Indonesian student who is attending university in Taiwan, Lai Ian, is very happy to have the opportunity to help people from his country.
If you help a foreign worker, this means that you are helping one family. I have already helped a lot of foreign workers, meaning I have already helped a lot of families.
Another volunteer is studying at a bilingual school, Wei Shubo, and is using his language skills to help those in need.
I feel a sense of accomplishment, and I am learning how to help more people. In the future, I will be more diligent in my studies.
More than 100 healthcare workers and volunteers eagerly serve some 68 foreign workers and migrants, helping them feel more love and compassion.
A delegation from Korea's educational broadcasting system recently visited DaAi TV in Gwangju, Taipei to learn more about one another. DaAi's educational programming, such as Unsung Heroes and a lesson outside of class, impressed the delegation. In 2014, DaAi TV and Educational Broadcasting System of Korea signed a sister station MOU. On June 13th, the delegation visited the Humanitarian Center in Gwangju for an exchange.
Welcome to DaAi TV.
Thank you. 4 programs, including educational, musical, and documentaries, were shown to the delegation.
DaAi TV의 프로그램을 짧게 봤습니다. 근데 역시 DaAi TV가 추구하는 쯔지가 추구하는 것을.
Though we were only watching a portion of the film, I really like them all, especially Unsung Heroes. Your educational values are similar to our station. I think we will have a good cooperation.
통하기 때문에 아마 활발한 교류가 가능하리라고 봅니다.
EBS 在韩国有非常大的影响力。
EBS is very influential in Korea. With our excellent content, we hope through either documentary exchanges or purchasing each other's programming, our stories from Taiwan can also be seen in Korea.
我的教育电视台参访，大家打声招呼。社长，社长。
Through the visit, the delegation got a full understanding of Tzu Chi's humanitarian ideals and the way the company holds itself to the highest reporting standard.
DaAi TV has its own distinct character. It's right up there with EBS. I saw lots of volunteers working hard during disaster relief efforts in the introduction videos. I was quite moved.
Bridging the relationship between the 2 broadcasting stations, it is hoped in the future, Korean documentaries will have an opportunity to be seen on DaAi TV. Taipei Tzu Chi chapter hosted a stem cell blood donation drive recently where many 18-year-olds came to sign up to help save a life. If you have yet to sign up and your health permits you to, please consider registering to save a patient in need. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.